Hi, everybody. In part 3 of our Introduction to Tessera webinar, we're going to show you how to combine the steps from part 1 and part 2 into a single conglomerated scene that will allow you to play back both your wide aspect ratio ribbon and your main video board content using one scene and one take item in Expression. All right, we're back here on the layout side of Expression, and I'm going to show you a technique now for building a conglomerated scene. Okay, that's going to have both our main display and our ribbon in one scene. Okay, now what are the advantages to this? The biggest advantage is by building a template like this, I have one item that I need to trigger. So when this comes down to controlling it from your production switcher or building a dashboard panel to trigger all of these things, I only now have one ID to remember, one item to trigger. It's also going to help with things like synchronization because I don't have to worry about queuing and taking two items to come online at the same time. I can just play one item, and that one item will just inherently be synchronized no matter what we do. Right? Now, you can make multiple items synchronized as well. That's not necessarily an issue, but there's just more things to consider to make sure that that consistently happens. So one item can certainly be more predictable in terms of how that would work out. So I'm going to go ahead and build a new scene. And to shortcut this, I'm going to duplicate my full board video scene because I'm going to use this as the basis for this sort of full takeover scene. So we're going to duplicate this scene and we're going to call this full takeover. Now, because this is a conglomeration of both the ribbon and the main display, the scene's dimensions are going to have to change to accommodate both pieces of content. Okay, so this scene is 15,360. This scene's 1920. Okay, 3840. So the first thing we're going to do is right click and convert dimensions, and we're going to make this scene 15,360. Now it's not going to be 1080 because I also now need to add 80 pixels of vertical onto this scene to accommodate the placeholder for the ribbon. Right, so it's actually going to be 1160. 15,360 by 1160. Okay. So now the scene has gotten much larger, obviously. Our little video board, our main video looks sort of orphaned in the middle of the scene. We're going to go ahead and change the name of this object. This is now going to be called main display clip. And I'm going to make a few adjustments here to make it easier to position. All right, so that first thing we're going to do here. So I'm going to adjust its pivot points because I want to easily just stick it to the left edge of this scene to make my region mapping easier to deal with, first and foremost. So what I'm going to do is go to my transform tab for this object. I'm going to go to its pivots. Now this object's 3840 by 1080. So to position the pivot, which is currently right in the middle, I'll zoom in so you can see this. So we'll zoom out a little bit, I guess. Too far. Still too far. Okay, so our pivot is directly in the center. I'll back up even more. Now I want to position this on the left edge. So I'm going to set the X pivot to negative 1920, excuse me, and the Y pivot to positive 540, which will put the pivot point right on the upper left hand corner of this object, which is just going to make my life easier for now positioning it in the upper left corner of the scene. Okay, so I'm going to position this at 0 and 1160. Okay, done. Now I'm going to go to my ribbon scene. I'm going to grab the quad that I created there, clip. I'm going to copy it, go to my full takeover scene, paste it, and there it is. Now it positioned itself exactly in the right spot because it copied its coordinates over from the other scene, which would have been 40 on the y-axis, which just happens to align with 40 here. So it actually worked out perfectly. Not entirely planned, but I'm happy it worked out that way. Now, of course, we could always go and adjust its position. But that is exactly where I want it to be. I want it to be at 40 on the y-axis, directly underneath our main video placeholder. So now I've built this conglomerated scene, right, that I can now apply 2 clips to and play as one take item from our sequencer, right? So we're going to go into our region mapper. Now we have to build a new source to accommodate this new scene. So I'm going to go into my region mapping. We're going to reuse, though, a lot of the elements from the other regions that we've already built, the other sources we've already built. So we're going to go ahead and build a new source. It's going to be 15 360 by 1160. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and copy these regions. So copy full display left and paste. Copy full display right, paste. And notice how they're actually positioning themselves at 0, 0, right? Because that's where they were positioned. And our coordinate system in the region mapper is 0 based in the upper left-hand corner. So copy and pasting these regions from source to source will put them in the same relative position, even if the source you've built is much wider in this case, right? So very handy. So we're going to go ahead and start copying. Oh, and when we copy and paste these, their mappings also move with them. So notice when I pasted region 1, it mapped itself to channel 1. Region 2 mapped itself to channel 2, right? So their destination mappings follow as well. So saving us a whole bunch of time. You still have to go and rename these. We don't assume you want to keep the same names. So you have to go and name these after the fact. So this would be, main left, main right. So we'll go ahead and copy our stripes. So stripe 1, copy, paste. Now this one's a little different. The 0 position in this source relative to this source, right, is at the upper, it's the upper left of both of these sources. So this one's going to require us to make some changes. These are actually going to have to move, right? So region 1, which is stripe 1. So stripe 1 is going to have to move to 1080 on the y-axis to be underneath main left and main right. So we're going to have to do an extra step on all of these ribbon sections. So we're going to copy stripe 2, paste, and then position at 1080. And then we're going to copy stripe 3, paste, and position at 1080. And just rinse, repeat. So paste 1080. Okay. Oh, I think I pasted region 3 twice in a row. My bad. Oh, this guy. Copy. Paste. Or excuse me, that was right. So we'll just keep doing this. 1080. Copy. Paste. 1080. Copy. Paste. 1080. Paste. 1080. Almost there. Last two here. Copy. Paste. 1080. And last one, our little 240 section. Paste. And 1080. So you can go through and name these after the fact if you want, right? This would become stripe 2. And this would become stripe 3. Stripe 4. Also name them as you go, I suppose. Might have saved me some time. Stripe 6. 7, stripe 8, and stripe 9. Okay, all done. So the beauty of this now, I showed you guys earlier, we went over to the sequencer. I'm going to switch back to our playout interface so we can see both of our outputs and our UI. So before, I had to take these, as separate items basically, right? They're two separate take items in our sequencer. Now you can merge them together with a take all group, right? But now to play 2 items, it takes 3 items basically because I need to create a group every time. It's just more work, more manual labor in the sequencer, organizing all of this stuff into groups. Where with the full takeover variant, so I'm going to make a new group and we'll just call this, full takeover. And we'll put our full takeover scene in there, and I'm going to apply 2 clips to it. We're going to apply our intro to the main display, and we're going to apply our ribbon to the ribbon. And now I have one item that I actually need to assign to a different source. So I actually forgot one step in here in our region map. I want to name this. I don't want this to be called source 1. This should be called, full takeover or something to that effect. Okay, so now we're going to play this on full takeover, or we could have preset it on the layout side, but I'm going to go ahead and take this. And now with one take item, I'm playing both of these pieces of content on multiple displays, completely in sync, from one graphic, basically, from one expression template.